Okay, guys, some final words hopefully on this project, which I have not had fun doing. All right, I did use these 1/8" steel with the ribs up to 1/2" thickness type things to create rigidity and strength under the frame. I wasn't happy with the way I crushed the frame yesterday, which I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. These are 1/2" bolts with 1/2" socket drive, but I barely started getting into it. And what happened is kind of one of my fears. This frame's so light, I crushed it here because my bar only went to here. This is my new bar. Now, obviously it's only strong as the weakest link. So I decided to go crazy and crazier and beef it up to quarter inch angle iron. And the reason I put it in this way is I wanted the holes closer to the ridge, to the fold here, and I didn't want the beam to rotate into, or the angle iron to rotate into the frame and crush the frame by rotating in if I'd put it over the corner like this. So what now is obviously the weak point is tearing through the skin at the top. If I could tighten it, keep tightening this bolt, and I'll pull that nut right through the skin because the skin is light, as you know. So you got to stop. I mean, theoretically, I only put this bolt in to hold the steel in place. I wasn't even going to go through the frame, but it was the easiest way to do it. I could have just used self-tappers and, you know, just to hold it in place so it didn't twist off, rattle off, fall off on the road or something. But I said, oh, why not just double up, put a bolt, and now this bolt acts as another kind of tethering bolt. If it were to rip out of here, it's got to rip this one sideways through the frame and, you know, all sorts of directions. So I not 100%, you guys can learn from my mistakes is what I'm getting at. So my rail's going to go here. This bolt's hidden by the plywood. Plywood will be right here. And ideally, you know, the rail's going to have a little more strength as to not pull the bolt through the floor, but you also could teeter your rail upward and make it so it doesn't fit great. So you have to restrain yourself from tightening this down. Now, the last theory I had, which I'm not going to implement, was to put an insert in. Basically, you know, a giant insert spacer washer. So what you could do, and what I probably would have done had I thought of it more quickly, I still could do it, but I don't want to keep going. Get a piece of pipe, drill a larger hole down here, slide the pipe up, have it come flush to the skin. You could buy plumbing pipe, whatever, that just the 1/2" slips through with a nice hard, you know, nice solid sleeve. And then you could obviously crush the beam much harder, and you would not tear through the floor. You would not tear, you know, you would just be pulling this plate into that new pipe insert that you inserted. That to me now is the best theory, is a pipe insert to reinforce this crushing effect that's going on with these unibody frames because they're so darn light. Anyhow, I think I'm protected through tear-through strength. I have this bolt, which is my one that's going to get the bulk of the stress. I've got all this length spreading the load out across the frame. I just can't tighten it up crazy because I will crush the frame or tear through the floor, or teeter-totter my rails. So that's the only caveat here on this one frame rail. The other one, as you know, is flush. You can crush it till you know, as hard as you want, basically. Don't overstretch your bolts, but you can go pretty good on that. And I'm comfortable with that 1/8" back there, the way it's pinned in there and all that stuff, the one back here. But I just hope that helps you guys because, man, I have really overdone this job. I mean, I got into insulating the floor a little bit at least while I'm here, but too much work. I made it harder than it had to be, but that's just because there's no information out there. A couple guys, as you know, did it online there, and I didn't care for the whole messing with the gas tank thing, as I mentioned, and I think we have to reinforce the floor or the frame a heck of a lot more than most people did. I think I'm heavier than many, but I still think you could go further and be better off with either. I could not find brackets that were already made for this job. You know, I thought I found one 6 months ago and I lost track of it. I think it was for some other custom seat though. And I think it might be worth having brackets welded that reinforce things more so, or do the insert method. As far as strengthening up over by the gas tank, I think you need almost like a custom bracket or something to really get properly strong. But again, I'm going to tie into the D-ring with a seatbelt type strap and just have additional insurance on the tear out. And if you watched my other videos, you know why I'm concerned about tear out with the weight of motorcycles and passengers and et cetera, et cetera. But I wish Sprinter had just spent the $2 it would have cost to put the extra steel in the floor in case people wanted to put seats in or anything, mount anything. You know, whatever that reinforcement they did, it would have been nice to have. And you know, I would have given up paddle shifters all day long in exchange for some steel in the floor, which would have cost $8 of steel, and I'll give up my $400 paddle shifters or $1,000 paddle shifters. Anyway, hope that helps you guys, give you more ideas. But these are the precautionary tales for dealing with a cargo van. Again, this is a 22 cargo Sprinter. 19 to 22 are about the same. And I had a previous crew, which I was familiar with. But anyway, hope that helps. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. Take care.